Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Good morning to all. Welcome to our computer science online classes. So our next discussing topic, that is our dynamic binding. We already know that in last class we already discussed, we learned some of the topics are inheritance, overloading. Two types of overloading are there: operator overloading, function overloading. We already discussed by using with the example here, or maybe the polymorphism and the message passing. The last characteristics or the basic concept of the object oriented programming is the dynamic binding. Now what about this concept also going to use while going to complete or create or design the program, object oriented programming. The concept name is the dynamic binding here. Now let us see just the meaning of the binding. What is the meaning of the binding in this case? Simply we can say as the adding, combining. So binding is the process of combining or connecting one program to another. So I am not going to tell the full form or the meaning of the dynamic binding, just I selected the word binding. The meaning of the binding, connecting one program to another, is called as the binding here. Now let us see the meaning of the dynamic binding here. So I already written some of the code. Now what about why I completed this code while going to discuss the meaning of the dynamic binding here. So the binding means the linking of a procedure call to the code to be executed. What's the meaning of this one? The linking of a procedure call to the code to be executed. Meaning is very simple. Dynamic binding means the code associated with a given procedure call is known only at the time of program execution. Clear this point? Whatever the call we did, the call is the function 1, function 2. So when you are going to call the function 1, it is going to execute the code hello. When you are going to connect with the function 2 call here, on that time it is going to display the message as the A, or maybe whatever the message you are completing while going to display the code, maybe the A, or now just it is going to display as the AB. So we can say that dynamic binding means here maybe connection is there from one code to the another. When you are going to make the procedure call, when you are going to click here, it is going to execute this program here, or this execution or this statement is the hello. When you are going to click function 2, in our function 2 it is going to display the code or display the our statement. This statement is the A and B. So the dynamic binding means the code associated with the procedure call is known only at the time of program execution. Clear this point here? Or simply the linking of a procedure call to the code to be executed. So all those concepts are going to use in our characteristics of the object oriented programming. Maybe while going to complete design the program, we can use the object concept. It's a very necessary here. Class concept, why? Because first of all we need to define the class here. Data abstraction, why? Because if we are object going to interact, they don't want any background detail, or maybe the data encapsulation. That means here the objects, the data member and data functions are going to use or combine into a class. Such one is called as the data abstraction. That means it provides data security. Whatever the data is there, such data just accessible by our functions. No any other of the class function it possible to access the data here, or maybe we can say our inheritance in this case here. Why? Because two classes are there, and the first classes, by using our first base class we constructing the new class. The class is the derived class in this case. This is the concept of the inheritance, also going to use in our object oriented programming. Otherwise the overloading, that is the operator overloading or function overloading concept, also we can use while going to design the program, or the polymorphism, message passing, and lastly the ninth point, that is called as the dynamic binding in this case here. So just we completed till here the characteristics of the object oriented programming here. Now let's see the very important questions, and it is 5 marks, very important question, the advantage of the OOP here. So what about the advantage of the OOP? We know that while going to design the program here, or the object oriented programming here are modularized based on the principle of classes and the objects. Why? Because without class, is it possible to combine the object, that is data member and data function? No here. First of all, a set of classes we need to define, and after defining the set of classes, laterwards we are going to declare the object, that is the data and functions here. So the first advantage here we can say that here object oriented programming, okay, here modularized or working on the principle of classes and the objects. And this second point we can say that about our reduces code duplication and code reusability. So what about the code duplication and code reusability here? So we can say that, why? Because some of the linking code, some of the code is going to link from one program to another, or within the program here the code going to link. So the linking code and objects allow the related object, maybe the linking code and objects allowing the related object to share the common code. Whatever the code is there in program, we can share with other objects also here. So we don't want to make the duplication of the code. Whenever you want, you can get it, correct? Now in this case, why? Because here the main point is the share common code here. So because of this reason is called as the advantage. Why? Because the advantages is that reduces the code duplication and code reusability. That means whenever you want, you can get the code here. So don't want, or we don't want to make any duplication of the code here. Anytime you can reuse such code also. And later next one, the third point is about our, it provides data security. In which manner, in which way it providing data security, okay here? Why? Because we know that one concept, the concept name is the data, our encapsulation, okay? The data encapsulation provides the data security. Why? Because here we can say that the data can be accessed only by the functions that are present inside the class. Such data may be in one class, data and functions are there here, and such data can be accessed only by the functions that are present inside the class here. It's not possible to access to an external non-member function to such data here. In this manner, it provide the data security. Clear this point here? So we can say that here the data encapsulation, the data is encapsulated along with the functions here, and such data can be accessed only by the function that are present inside the class. It's not possible to access to any external non-member functions. And later next one is about our easier to develop complex software through inheritance. We know the meaning of the inheritance. The inheritance is the process of forming new class, and we forming the new class just by using our existing class here. How we constructed one new class? Why? Because the new class constructed by using base class here, okay? So we can say that easier to develop complex software, whatever the program you want to form in this case, and such one we can form just by using the concept of the inheritance. So such one is called as the easier to develop complex software through inheritance, okay? And later in our advantage we can take one more point, that is the concept of data abstraction. So what about the concept of the data abstraction? Well, because we know that abstraction, the process of representing essential features without including background details. The object, data member, data function. Why? Because the function don't want any background detail of the data, and data don't want any background detail of the functions here. So we can say that the concept of data abstraction specifies here object implementation and object specification. That means here they are going to interact, but they are not going to share any background detail or any kind of the explanation or any internal working of their own. Okay, here. So this is called as about our concept of the data abstraction here. It is the advantage of the object oriented programming here. And finally here we can say that the creation, when you are going to create, design the object oriented programming, or maybe you are going to implement the program. What do you mean by a implementation? The implementation means maybe you are going to add some new features in this case here, or maybe modification in this case. The modification, implementation and creation, whatever is there, the object oriented programming is very easier. Okay, here. So the creation and implementation of the object oriented programming is easy, thus it reduces the development time in this case here. Okay, so this one about our next advantage is here. And finally the last advantage we can say that here communication. Why? Because without communication, is it possible to build the program, to execute the program? No, we can't say. We are going to design, we are going to execute the program without making any communication between the objects in this case here. So the communication in case of our object oriented programming, the communication is possible. Why? Because here some object going to interact just to make the execution of the program, to make the execution procedure call in this case here. So all are the advantage of the object oriented programming here. So first one, based on the classes and the objects, reduces code duplication and code reusability. It provides data security, easier to develop complex software through inheritance. The concept of data abstraction, creation and implementation of the object oriented programming is easy. And finally communication, that means the OP can communicate through message passing here. And after knowing the advantage of the object oriented programming, our disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages? Why? Because we know that before going to tell the disadvantage, here we can say that every aspect in the universe has both advantage and also some disadvantages. But we need to understand that when percentage of the advantage is more compared to the disadvantages, then there is no any harm in case of accepting. Correct, Nokia? So why? Because we know that many advantages are there, but just only few disadvantages of the object oriented programming. So here we can say that the program is good. Correct? No, we can accept such a program, but also we can say some of the disadvantage of the object oriented programming. The object oriented programming software is not having set standard. Why? Because now also we need some development in the program here. The software is good, but also sometimes it's not going to work by using the other features in this case here. Now also we need some development in the software here. So the first disadvantage, the OP software is not having set standards. Okay here. And later next one is about our OP is a complex process. Why it is called as it is a complex process here? Why? Because I already said many advantages are there. Now we are going to discuss some disadvantage. In disadvantage I said OP is a complex process. Why? Because while going to create any program, we are going to draw the flow diagrams. Correct? Now in this case here, but here in our object oriented programming, the adaptability of the flow diagrams is very difficult. Clear this point here. So the classes, by using the classes and object such flow diagram we can't draw in this case here. So the adaptability of flow diagrams using object oriented programming is a complex process. Clear this point here. And later next one is about our third disadvantages. Here it is not possible to solve our real world problems by using the concept of object oriented programming. That means here to convert real world problem into object oriented programming is also a difficult process in this case here. That means whatever our real problem is there, our natural problem is there, we can't solve by using the concept of the object oriented programming in this case here. So this is the third disadvantages, and the last we can say that the classes are overly generalized. When we are going to design the program, many times we need to use the class name while going to define the class by using the keyword class in this case here, while going to define each function name, while going to write main function. So many times we need to use the name of the classes. Maybe 5 to 6 times we need to use the name of the classes while completing the program here, while going to get one correct execution of the program here. So many times we need to write the name of the classes. So we can say that the classes are overly generalized. And finally the OP use some tricky methods to do the programming. Correct no kya? It is using some tricky problematic method while going to create the program. Why? Because some of the tricky method, before going to design, we need to think about the objects, we need to think about the design. Correct here? We need to think about the programming skill here before going to create, before going to go to design our object oriented programming. Or finally we can say that proper planning and design. First of all we need to require before going to use our programming using object oriented programming here. So all are called as the disadvantages. Okay here. And now finally I want to tell the important concept, that is the application of the OOP. So what about the applications? Application, we know that the meaning of the application, uses of the object oriented programming here. So such object oriented programming here are easier to design and implement. Correct no? Very easily we can design the program, very easily we can make the implementation in program here, very easy. And also we can say that the object oriented programming are easier to modify and upgrade. Maybe in case you want to make some modification in program, changes in program, you can make it easily. And also upgradation, in this case here, if you want to add some new features, you can add it very easily here in our, why? Because here the development time is reduced. Why I said here now the development time is reduced. Why? Because in our object oriented programming, the standard class libraries can be used by the programmers while going to develop the program. Maybe the standard class libraries are here IOStream, maybe IOManip, or maybe our standard lib.h, all are called as the standard libraries, depend on the function where we need to use the header file here. So the standard class library can be developed or used by the programmers. Because of this reason the development time is minimized or reduced here. And very important features, by using OOP programming we designed the most important thing, that is the Windows operating system. Okay, the Windows operating system we can design by using the concept of the object oriented programming is the most interesting feature of the object oriented programming here. Now the first uses of the object oriented programming is the computer graphic application. While going to make some graphic of the computer here, we can use our OOP code, OOP technique, OOP programming. So first users or our application, we can say computer graphic application. And second, our application CAD CAM software. That means CAD, we know that computer aided design, computer aided manufacturing. While going to develop any aided design, computer aided design or computer aided manufacturing also, we can use such OP concept, OP programming in this OP language here. And the third one, our object oriented database. While going to create the database, the meaning of the database is the collection of the information. Okay, kya? While going to create any collection of information, we can also use our OP language here. And fourth point here, we can say about here the graphical user interface design for Windows operating system. While going to create our Windows operating system, we can also use, or we can use our language. The language is the object oriented programming here, or maybe for our modeling. What's the meaning of the modeling here? That means the design of the product. Okay, kya? For the modeling here or for the simulation, we can also use our object oriented programming. Simulation, you know that. Why? Because for the statistical calculation is called as the simulation in this case, or for any artificial intelligence, for the robotics, we can also use. And finally, that is for the real time system. Maybe you want very quick result, you can use the object oriented programming concept, or maybe also helpful to our military application and telephone exchanges here. So all are called as the users of the object oriented programming. Again, I am going to repeat the users of object oriented programming. The first users is the computer graphic application. Second one is the CAD/CAM software. Third one is the object oriented database. And fourth one we can say about our modeling. And fifth one here simulation. And maybe for our expert system here, or maybe for our quick result, that is called as the real time system for the military applications, maybe for quick result, maybe telephone exchange. In that way we can use the object oriented programming concept or the language. Thank you.